In the heart of the galaxy, the Galactic Council sat in a grand chamber filled with representatives from many different species, each being brought their own skills, knowledge, and wisdom. But today they were all united by fear. A strange and terrible threat loomed over them, a massive energy field known as the Veil. It stretched across space like a dark cloud, swallowing everything in its path. No one understood what the Veil was or where it came from. Ships that had tried to explore it never returned. They vanished without a trace, leaving only silence behind. The Council's scientists were baffled. They spent days and nights studying data and trying to make sense of it. But the more they learned, the more confused they became. All their technology, advanced as it was, could not penetrate the Veil. Panic grew among the Council members as they realized that entire star systems were in danger. Commander Alara, a wise and respected leader of the Council, rose to speak. Her voice was calm, but the worry in her eyes was clear. If we do not find a way to stop the Veil, we risk losing countless lives. We must consider all our options. The room fell silent. Delegates exchanged worried glances, unsure of what to do. They all understood the stakes, but no one had a solution. After a long pause, a young representative from the Zoltar race, known for their quick thinking, suggested, "What about the humans? They are known for their bravery and willingness to take risks. Perhaps they would be willing to face the Veil." A wave of murmurs swept through the chamber. Humans? Some council members scoffed at the idea. Humans were seen as reckless and unpredictable, but others recalled their past achievements, how they had faced impossible odds and triumphed. Commander Alara nodded thoughtfully. "It might be our only hope. We must send a message to Earth and ask for their help." The Council voted unanimously to reach out to the humans, hoping they would be bold enough to accept the challenge. Meanwhile, on Earth, Commander Alex Rivera, a decorated war hero, received the urgent message from the Galactic Council. He gathered his team in a conference room filled with maps and star charts. The atmosphere was tense. "They want us to face the Veil," he said, looking at his crew. "They believe only humans can do the impossible." A murmur of disbelief and excitement rippled through the room. One of the crew members, a brilliant scientist named Dr. Mira Chen, spoke up. "But what if we fail? No one has survived the Veil. It could be a suicide mission." Rivera understood her fear, but also felt a spark of determination. "We can't let fear hold us back. The galaxy is counting on us. If we succeed, we will not only save lives, but also prove that humanity can rise to any challenge." The crew agreed. They had faced dangers before, but this was different. They were stepping into the unknown, a realm where no one had returned. Each member of the crew felt a mix of fear and excitement. They began preparing the ship, the Endeavor, equipping it with the best technology Earth had to offer. As the countdown began, families and friends gathered to bid farewell to their loved ones. The crew of the Endeavor felt the weight of their mission. They were not just going to explore the Veil, they were going to do what no one else could. With their hearts pounding, they launched into the vastness of space, ready to face the darkness ahead. The stars blurred past them as the ship sped toward the Veil. Commander Rivera steered the ship with confidence, his thoughts racing. They were about to confront the greatest challenge the galaxy had ever seen. With determination shining in their eyes, the crew braced for the unknown, ready to show the galaxy what humans were capable of. As the Endeavor hurtled through space toward the Veil, Commander Alex Rivera stood at the helm, gazing at the swirling darkness ahead. His crew was tense but determined. They knew the risks. Behind them, Earth felt far away, but their mission was clear. They had to face the unknown and discover the secrets of the Veil. In the ship's control room, the crew gathered around a large screen displaying a map of the Veil's boundaries. Dr. Mira Chen pointed to the center of the swirling mass. "This is where the energy is strongest. We need to find a way to get there safely. If we can understand what lies inside, we might be able to stop it from consuming more systems." The crew nodded, inspired by her enthusiasm. As they worked, other crew members shared their thoughts. Officer James Torres, the ship's pilot, raised his hand. "What if we encounter the Guardian of the Veil? We know it exists and it's dangerous. How do we communicate with something we don't understand?" His voice held a mix of fear and excitement. Commander Rivera listened carefully. "We will have to be smart and brave. If we meet the Guardian, we should show it that we come in peace. We are not here to fight. We want to understand." The crew exchanged glances, realizing the challenge ahead. They were ready, but they needed a plan. Meanwhile, word of the humans' mission had spread across the galaxy. Many species watched with interest and skepticism. Some considered humans reckless, while others admired their courage. The Galactic Council debated the humans' approach, some still doubting their ability to succeed. Back on Earth, families gathered in large crowds watching the launch on giant screens. They cheered for the brave crew heading into the unknown. Friends and loved ones held hands, praying for their safety. The human spirit shone brightly as they realized this mission could change everything. If the crew succeeded, they would not only save lives but also prove humanity's worth in the galaxy. Days passed as the Endeavor traveled closer to the Veil. The crew trained and prepared for every possible scenario. They practiced emergency drills and studied the ship's systems. Everyone felt the weight of their mission, but they also felt a growing bond. They were not just a crew, they were a family united by a common goal. As the ship neared the edge of the Veil, Commander Rivera called a meeting. The atmosphere was electric with anticipation. "We are about to do something incredible," he began. "We know the risks, but we also know what we stand for. We are humans. We are brave, and we never back down from a challenge. Let's show the galaxy what we can do." Cheers erupted in the room. Each member felt a surge of courage. They were ready to face the impossible, ready to take the first step into the unknown. Rivera looked around, seeing the determination in their eyes. This mission was not just about them, it was about every living being in the galaxy. As the Endeavor crossed the boundary into the Veil, the ship shook violently. Lights flickered and alarms blared. The crew quickly took their positions, ready for whatever lay ahead. Rivera's heart raced as they plunged deeper into the swirling mass of energy. They had entered a world unlike anything they had ever seen. Colors twisted and turned, and the air felt thick with energy. Strange sounds echoed around them, but Rivera held his ground. "Stay calm! Focus on the task!" he shouted over the chaos. The crew worked together, their training kicking in as they fought against fear and uncertainty. Finally, they reached a point where the chaos began to settle. The ship stabilized, and the crew took a moment to catch their breath. They were in the heart of the Veil, surrounded by a beauty that was both terrifying and awe-inspiring. They had made it this far. Now it was time to uncover the truth. As they prepared to explore the depths of the Veil, Commander Rivera felt a sense of hope. Humanity was bold enough to face the impossible. Together, they would find a way to save their galaxy. Inside the Veil, the Endeavor floated in a realm of swirling colors and strange sounds. The crew stared in awe at the sights around them. Bright, glowing lights danced in patterns, creating a breathtaking display. It felt as if they had entered another world, one full of wonders and mysteries. But beneath the beauty lay an unsettling feeling. They were not alone. "Stay alert," Commander Alex Rivera warned, his voice steady despite the awe surrounding them. "We don't know what's out here." The crew nodded, their excitement mixed with tension. Each person had trained for this moment, but now that they were here, the unknown loomed larger than ever. Dr. Mira Chen focused on her instruments. "I'm picking up strange energy readings," she reported, her brow furrowing. "It's unlike anything we've encountered before." She adjusted the controls, trying to make sense of the readings. The data was confusing, but one thing was clear: they were in a place of great power. Suddenly, the ship shook violently. Alarms blared as the crew struggled to maintain control. "What's happening?" Officer James Torres shouted, gripping his seat tightly. The lights flickered, casting eerie shadows across the control room. "We're being pulled by something!" Mira shouted back, her fingers flying over the controls. "It's as if the Veil is alive!" Commander Rivera's heart raced. "Prepare for anything! Brace yourselves!" With a sudden jolt, the Endeavor was pulled into a tunnel of light. The crew gasped as they were thrust deeper into the Veil, surrounded by a whirlwind of colors. Rivera fought to keep his focus. "Hold on! We need to stabilize the ship." The crew worked together, their training guiding them through the chaos. As the ship finally steadied, they emerged into a vast chamber filled with pulsating energy. The walls glowed like a living organism, casting an otherworldly light. In the center of the chamber stood a massive figure, the Guardian of the Veil. The Guardian was a creature of immense size, its form shifting and changing, made of pure energy. It had no distinct shape, but its presence was both powerful and intimidating. The crew froze, fear gripping their hearts. This was the being they had heard about, the protector of the Veil. "Commander, what do we do?" Mira whispered, her voice trembling. Rivera took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the moment. We must communicate. We can't fight this being. It is too powerful. As the Guardian approached, it emanated a series of low, resonating sounds. The crew felt the vibrations in their bones. Rivera stepped forward, determined to show the Guardian they meant no harm. "We come in peace," he shouted, his voice echoing in the vast chamber. To their surprise, the Guardian paused. It tilted its energy form, as if considering Rivera's words. "Why do you enter my domain?" it asked, its voice a deep rumble that filled the air. Rivera's heart raced, but he remained steady. "We seek understanding. We want to know why the Veil exists and how we can help." The Guardian swirled around them, creating a vortex of energy. "Many have tried to cross the Veil, seeking power. Few return," it replied, its voice resonating with ancient wisdom. "You are different. You approach without weapons, without fear." Mira stepped forward, emboldened by Rivera's courage. "We believe the Veil holds the key to saving many lives. If we can learn from you, we can help others." The Guardian considered her words, and the chamber filled with a shimmering light. "Your intentions are pure, but knowledge comes with a price." The crew exchanged worried glances. Rivera nodded, urging them to trust him. "What is the price?" he asked, ready to face whatever challenge lay ahead. The Guardian's energy pulsed, creating images of past civilizations that had succumbed to greed and destruction. "You must prove your worthiness. Only then will I share the secrets of the Veil." With those words, the chamber began to shift. Walls of light formed barriers around them. "Prepare yourselves. To gain knowledge, you must face the trials of the Veil," the Guardian warned. As the crew stood together, fear and determination mingled in the air. They had come so far and faced so much already. Now they would face the greatest challenge of all. They would not back down. They were humans, and they would prove their bravery against the unknown. As the chamber shimmered with vibrant light, Commander Alex Rivera stood firm, staring at the Guardian of the Veil. The atmosphere was thick with tension and anticipation. The crew knew that their next choices could change everything. "Trials?" Rivera echoed, his voice steady but filled with curiosity. "What kind of trials do you mean?" The Guardian's form swirled, creating patterns of light that danced around them. "You must face challenges that test your strength, wisdom, and unity. Only then will I share the secrets of the Veil." Officer James Torres felt a chill run down his spine. "But what if we fail?" he asked, anxiety creeping into his voice. The Guardian responded with a low hum, reverberating through the chamber. "Failure is part of the journey. It is how you grow stronger. If you succeed, you will gain knowledge that can protect your world." Mira Chen stepped forward, feeling a mix of excitement and fear. "What do we need to do?" she asked, her eyes sparkling with determination. The Guardian shifted, forming a doorway of light. "You will face 3 trials. Each will test your abilities. If you succeed, you will learn the truth about the Veil." The crew exchanged glances, weighing their options. Rivera felt the weight of responsibility on his shoulders. They had come too far to turn back. "We accept your challenge," he declared. "We will face these trials together." The Guardian's light pulsed in response, illuminating the chamber. "Very well. Your first trial will test your strength. Prepare yourselves." With that, the chamber transformed. The walls faded away, and the crew found themselves on a rocky cliff overlooking a swirling abyss. The wind howled around them, and they could feel the pull of the void below. "What do we do?" James shouted over the wind. Rivera pointed to a series of floating platforms leading into the abyss. "We need to cross to the other side. It will test our balance and teamwork." The crew nodded, determination lighting their faces. They moved cautiously onto the first platform, feeling the unstable surface beneath them. "One at a time," Mira urged. The crew took turns stepping onto the platforms, helping each other as they crossed. As they progressed, the platforms began to shift and tremble, making it harder to keep their balance. James slipped, but Rivera reached out just in time, pulling him back from the edge. "We've got this! Stay focused!" Rivera shouted, encouraging everyone to keep moving. After what felt like an eternity, they finally reached the last platform. The crew erupted in cheers, but their joy was short-lived. The Guardian's voice echoed in the air. "You have shown strength and unity. But this was only the first trial. Prepare for the next." The scene changed again, this time into a dark forest filled with fog. Shadows moved among the trees, and eerie sounds echoed in the distance. "Stay together!" Mira whispered, feeling the fear creep in. The Guardian's voice resonated, explaining, "The second trial tests your wisdom. Solve the riddle of the forest and you will pass." The crew moved cautiously, scanning their surroundings. Suddenly, a ghostly figure appeared, blocking their path. "To move forward, you must answer my riddle," it said, its voice haunting. "I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with the wind. What am I?" The crew looked at one another, their minds racing. "It must be an echo!" James exclaimed. The figure nodded slowly. "Correct. You may pass." The crew cheered, relieved to have solved the riddle. They continued deeper into the forest, feeling their confidence grow. Finally, they arrived at a shimmering lake, its surface smooth as glass. The Guardian's voice boomed once more. "The final trial tests your heart. You must dive into the lake and face your deepest fears." The crew looked at one another, uncertainty creeping in. "We can do this," Rivera encouraged. "We have come this far. Together we can face anything." With determination, they took a deep breath and dove into the lake. As they plunged beneath the surface, visions of their fears surrounded them. Mira faced the fear of losing her family. James confronted the doubt of his worthiness. Rivera saw the weight of responsibility crushing him. But together, they supported each other, reminding one another of their strength and unity. After what felt like an eternity, they resurfaced, gasping for air. The Guardian's voice echoed, filled with pride. "You have completed the trials. Your bravery and unity have proven your worthiness." The chamber transformed again, revealing a vast library filled with ancient knowledge. The Guardian spoke. "You have earned the secrets of the Veil. Use this knowledge wisely to protect your world." As the crew entered the library, their hearts swelled with hope. They were ready to face whatever lay ahead. They were humans, brave enough to do the impossible. The vast library shimmered with ancient knowledge, its walls lined with glowing texts and holographic images. Commander Alex Rivera and his crew stood in awe, their hearts racing with excitement and wonder. They had faced trials that tested their strength, wisdom, and courage, and now they had earned the right to explore the secrets of the Veil. "This is incredible," Dr. Mira Chen breathed, reaching out to touch a floating hologram. It showed a star map filled with paths leading to distant galaxies. "We could learn so much from this." Rivera nodded, his mind racing with possibilities. "We need to focus. We have a mission to complete. We must gather knowledge that can help protect Earth." The Guardian of the Veil floated nearby, its form glowing with a warm light. "You have proven yourselves worthy, humans. You may take what you need, but remember, with great knowledge comes great responsibility. Use it wisely." James Torres, feeling a surge of determination, asked, "What can we do to ensure we use this knowledge for good?" The Guardian swirled in response. "Trust your hearts and work together. The strength of your unity will guide you." The crew scattered through the library, absorbing knowledge. They found information on advanced technologies, weapons for defense, and ways to communicate with other worlds. Each discovery filled them with hope. They knew they had to return to Earth, ready to share what they had learned. After what felt like hours, Rivera gathered the crew. "We've collected a wealth of knowledge. It's time to head back. We need to prepare Earth for the threats ahead." As they made their way back to the Endeavor, they felt a mix of excitement and anxiety. The Guardian followed them, its presence reassuring. "I will guide you back through the Veil," it said. "But remember, your journey is just beginning." With a flash of light, the Endeavor was surrounded by swirling colors once again. The crew held onto their seats, feeling the ship being pulled through the cosmic tunnel. Rivera glanced at his crew, seeing the determination in their eyes. They were ready for whatever challenges lay ahead. Suddenly, the ship jolted and alarms blared. "What's happening?" Mira shouted, her heart racing. The Guardian's voice echoed in the control room. "A disturbance is approaching. Prepare for possible conflict." Rivera quickly adjusted the ship's controls. "Everyone, get ready. We may have to fight!" The crew braced themselves, ready to defend their ship. As they emerged from the Veil, they saw a fleet of ships waiting for them. The enemy was here, a menacing armada that had been searching for the Endeavor. Rivera's heart sank. "They must have followed us! We can't let them take our knowledge!" James shouted, adrenaline pumping through him. "We have to fight!" The Guardian's voice resonated, filled with urgency. "You have the knowledge to protect yourselves. Use it wisely!" With a determined nod, Rivera issued commands to the crew. "Prepare for battle! We'll use what we learned to outsmart them." The crew sprang into action, their training kicking in. Mira activated advanced shields they had discovered, and James prepared the ship's weapons. The Endeavor transformed into a fortress of hope and strength. As the enemy ships approached, Rivera led his crew with courage. "We are not just fighting for ourselves, but for all of humanity. We will show them what we're made of!" The battle began. The Endeavor weaved through enemy fire, dodging attacks with precision. Mira directed energy blasts toward the enemy ships, using the knowledge they had gained to outmaneuver their opponents. The crew worked seamlessly together, each member playing their part. The tide began to turn as the Endeavor struck back. One by one, enemy ships fell, unable to withstand the crew's combined strength and tactics. The Guardians' energy pulsed through the ship, enhancing their defenses and giving them the power they needed. Finally, after an intense struggle, the last enemy ship retreated, disappearing into the depths of space. The crew erupted in cheers, their spirits soaring with victory. They had done it! Rivera turned to his crew, pride swelling in his chest. "We fought bravely and together. We have shown the galaxy what humans are capable of." With renewed hope, they set a course for Earth. As they traveled through space, Rivera looked out at the stars, knowing that they were no longer just a small part of the universe. They had become a force to be reckoned with, ready to face any challenge. As they approached Earth, the crew stood united, their hearts filled with purpose. They would share their knowledge and prepare humanity for the future. They were humans, brave enough to do the impossible. Together, they would protect their world and inspire others to stand strong against the darkness.